Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kalen
And I'm Casey
from Cedar Point Homes here. So the goal of a custom home is to end up with a product and with a home that the client loves and is their dream home. That exactly what they want, exactly what they need to fit their lifestyle and everything. So what we pride ourselves in doing is taking that vision of our client and turning it into a reality so that at the end of the day they have exactly what they want.
And it's worth noting that when you're talking about spec and custom builds, when it comes to spec construction, which we do actually participate in spec building, that doesn't necessarily mean that a spec project isn't going to be a luxury product. In fact, our spec projects that we work on integrate a lot of high-end and customized features in the home. And what's unique also about a spec project is throughout the length of construction, an individual client may come to us and loves the look of a house that has not been sold yet. And depending on the time frame, if a client shows up early on in the process, they're able to add their own personal touches onto that project. They're able to work with us and with designers, trade partners to create a more customized and a more unique house that will serve their needs, that will be a luxury product. So just keep that in mind when you're having that conversation between spec and custom homes.
One of the pros of a custom home is the end user ends up getting exactly what they want out of the home. It could be in the little details, in the layout or tile selection or any number of things. The pros that they get exactly what they want. One of the cons I would say is that pre-construction, the construction process can be lengthened quite a bit with a custom home because we're really trying to dive into what those needs are. So you have to weigh that against each other. You're going to spend more time customizing a home, but it will be a very custom product. So there's the pros and cons there.
So in contrast, a spec home is going to have a couple different pros that may be appealing to somebody who doesn't want to go through the whole custom building experience. Building a home is a very rewarding experience, but it also can be a very stress-inducing experience. It can be difficult to see through from start to completion. So a great number of people actually prefer to come in and buy a home that has been already spec'd out, that has all the finishes and selections and everything made. So there is a degree, when buying a spec home, there's a degree of peace of mind and not having to go through all the headache, heartache, frustration that could come throughout the selections and design process.
Mm-hmm. And one of the pros to a spec home too could be timing. They seem, because it's a spec home, they move along a lot quicker. Everything's pre-chosen and we can move along in production a lot quicker. Oftentimes a buyer might come in halfway through the construction or 3/4 of the way through the construction of a spec home. So the time they have to wait from when they're ready to buy to move in might be a lot shorter. It might be where it's just a month out, so it could be just like a regular home sale. So that's one of the pros, is waiting. So you're not having to wait as long. Oftentimes a spec home can be moved into a lot sooner. It could be what could be considered a quick move-in.
Yeah, and so another thing, if we're talking about cons of a spec home, you might not get the degree of personalization or customization that you would want otherwise in a custom home. Thankfully, we work with a lot of qualified and experienced suppliers, designers, who help us make wise decisions when it comes to design and when it comes to actual functionality of the home. So we're fortunate enough through the network of people that we work with that we're able to produce a really nice, functional, but also aesthetically pleasing construction project. And so for those who are trying to weigh those pros and cons, one thing definitely to consider is the degree of customization and personalization that you're comfortable with. So if you would like to have something that's definitely more your taste and definitely more your style, then you might want to lean more towards the custom side of things, because a spec home is not going to offer you as much liberty, as much flexibility to accomplish those goals.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Glad you could be here with us and to talk about the difference between spec homes and custom homes. So, thank you. See you next time.